everyone, I'm so glad you're here. My name is Megan, and today I'll be showing you how to use a massage ball to loosen up the muscles in your legs. So you can use any ball that you have handy, whether that's a tennis ball or a lacrosse ball is even better. Just ideally not a golf ball because I find they're a little bit too hard. The massage balls that I really like, I'll have linked below. This is not sponsored. This is just the stuff that I think you guys might like. So it comes in a little bag with a few different types. But today we'll just be using just the one single ball. And basically what I'll be showing you is how to find areas in your muscles that need a little bit of extra love. So the way I like to describe it is like a trigger point that you would think of, or a muscle knot is typically what people call it, is basically like the fibers in your muscles are grabbing and they're tightening up, and that creates this bulge and they're just not releasing. And the reason you would use a massage ball or an actual massage from a therapist would be to release those areas of tension. So I'll show you how you can do that for yourself today. This is great for after a workout, or maybe if you're just feeling like your muscles need a little bit of extra love. And we'll just get into it. So I'll start with the feet. So this can tend to be a really sore place for people because of the plantar fascia that's on the bottom of the foot. So you may need to start seated because there wouldn't be quite as much pressure. So basically you'd put the ball just behind the ball of your foot and then roll back and forward. And just gradually increase the depth as you get comfortable with it. Sometimes it's a little bit more sore in the beginning, and then that should loosen up and feel better as you go. An option here, if you feel like this is just not enough, would be to stand up. You can use something to hold on to if you need for balance. And again, placing the ball behind the ball of your foot and rolling forward and back. And you can get quite a bit more pressure on here once you're standing because you just put more weight through your foot. Just be mindful, you're always looking for kind of that good hurt, right, where you feel like it's actually helpful rather than a strong pain sensation. So just do that as many times as you see fit, and then place your heel down, keep the ball just behind the ball of your foot, and then bring your toes out and in. So you're just keeping the heel in place and then rotating the toes back and forth. This is a really good way to get the joints at your toes to start moving a little bit more easily as well. And then you can do the opposite. So the ball of your foot comes down, you bring the ball just in front of your heel, and then you rotate your heel out and in. It tends to be really sore as you bring your heel out, and that's because that's where the plantar fascia attaches. So just be mindful. If you find a spot that needs a little extra attention, you can kind of go back and forth, smaller motions right over that area. And that should feel pretty good. So then we can do the same thing on the other side. So again, rolling back and forward, just looking for any area that needs some love. But overall, this is just a really good one to add in every once in a while if you walk a lot during the day or stand on your feet for work. And then heel of the foot comes down and you rotate the toes in and out. Sometimes it can feel a little bit crunchy in there. Again, as long as there's no strong pain, it's okay. It's just the type of tissue that's on the bottom of your foot. Okay, and then ball of the foot down, heel right behind the ball, and then rotating the heel. Maybe noticing if one side feels a little bit more sore than the other, like one foot more sore than the other. And maybe that's worth giving that foot a little bit more attention. Great, and then we'll go down onto the ground for your calves. So, placing the ball above your Achilles tendon. There's no point in trying to work over that tendon. You want to come up to the meat of your muscles. And then just finding what type of pressure is tolerable. So if your leg is just set on top of there and you feel like that's quite sensitive, then that's where you'll stay. If you feel like you need a little bit more pressure, all you need to do is lift yourself up a little bit, get more weight through the leg. So you can roll up and down, you can bring the leg in and out. But once you find a spot that feels like it needs some extra attention, basically rest your leg there and then pull your toes towards you and then point them down. So up and down. And then you can move around a little bit once that's loosened up. Find another spot that needs some attention, pulling the toes up and down. It should feel like after you do 3 to 5 of the ankle pumps, bringing the toes up and down, like that area is kind of released. It doesn't feel quite as sensitive. And that's when you know you can move on to another spot. Always working with what's tolerable for you. Then do the same thing on the other leg. So just above that tendon, and then moving around until you find a spot that needs some love, and bringing the toes up and down. Okay, next area that tends to be tight is in our quadriceps muscles, the muscle on top of our thighs. So sometimes it's plenty to just use our hand and roll the ball, maybe put pressure both hands through the ball. And again, just finding an area where maybe you feel a little bit of tightness. You can make circles with the ball or just go back and forth over that spot. If you feel like you need a lot more pressure than that and like that would feel good, then what you can do is go over onto your belly and get the ball under your thigh. And then just kind of move around until you find a spot that needs attention. And then bend your knee and straighten it. Okay, so that's for the quadriceps muscle. And then another area that tends to be pretty tight and sore is along your IT band, which is the outside of your leg. So I like to go basically not long ways with the thigh, but the opposite direction. So you're going crossways to the IT band. And get that loosened up. If you feel like you need some more pressure there, you can go onto your side. The only thing I say with this is make sure that you're not on the edge of the femur, so there's like a bony prominence here that you don't really want to put a ton of pressure on. So again, if it feels like actual pain, just avoid that area. You're just looking for muscle tightness. And then you can place the other foot over top and use that to kind of lift your body so you've got control over how much pressure is through that leg. And then move along. And do the same thing on the other side. And then the last area I will show you is another commonly tight area. Hi, Ghost. Don't leave. Okay, excuse me. Excuse me. He's gonna lay right in the way. Okay, excuse me, Ghost. Yes, I'm sorry. Okay, so the last area is, so that's Ghost if you don't know him yet, is in your glutes, right? So as you're lying down, so there's your tailbone, right? So that's like a bony area that you would want to avoid. But if you come just outside of that, that tends to be a really tight area for people, especially if you have any sort of sciatica issues, piriformis issues, which I have a whole video about that. If you want to check it out, I can link it below. But basically, you want to find an area that feels like it needs some pressure, and then you can drop your knee out to the side and then bring it back up. So you always have full control over how much pressure is going over that area, so that it's not a sharp, strong pain, but it's just kind of like it feels like it needs the pressure. And again, just kind of moving around, finding different areas. You can, if you feel like you need more pressure, kind of roll over onto it. So you're lifting the opposite hip up and then bring the knee up and down. And then do that on the other side as well. And you should feel nice and mobile. Maybe a little bit of soreness is relieved. So try this, let me know how it works for you, and if you have any requests for any other videos, comment down below and subscribe if you find this helpful. Take care.